It's fixed. New World Season 7 PvP servers are all back to normal. Well, I kinda doubt it. And even if it is, I'm not sure I feel like playing it anymore. So first, let's very briefly recap what happened. There was a minor patch in the very early hours yesterday. During that patch, or sometime immediately after, effectively all the servers became the same, and what that meant was that people could transfer from any server to any server, excluding the console ones. So Legacy could transfer to Fresh, Legacy could also transfer to the PvP seasonal servers, and all the combination therein. They then sort of stopped that from happening, took the servers offline, and then this is what they did this morning. And effectively, it's a couple of bullet points that say how they're rectifying the situation, because having Legacy characters go on the PvP seasonal server obviously completely ruined the market. So how do they go about fixing it? And I want to keep in mind, I'm aware that I kind of said that I would quit if it wasn't a full rollback, and this isn't a full rollback, but it's kind of near enough. So the first thing is that it says all accounts with characters that transferred during the window when the issue was live, and those who took part in the trading with transferred characters have been temporarily suspended. So if you transferred from Legacy to the seasonal server, you've been banned. And I'm going to assume this also applies to fresh start servers, although it doesn't mention that in some areas, which it really should, because that's really important as well. It also says people who traded with those characters. Now that's a bit of an issue, because some people have traded with those characters without realizing what they were doing. Maybe people were trying to get as many people as they could banned. Maybe people were just trying to spread the amount of materials out to try and hide their tracks. Either way, some innocent people could have been caught in the crossfire there. I do think though, if you actually just transferred, you like 99.999% of the time you knew what you were doing, and you kind of deserved the ban. I probably wouldn't have banned you, but if you are banned, I don't think you can complain. The length of the suspension is going to be dependent on what you actually did. And then they're also deleting any character that was created on the seasonal world during that period. And I did this, so basically I created a character because it meant that they were factionless, and I thought, oh, that could be really fun, right, to maybe go through the entire game without a faction but PvP flagged. I thought it might be fun, so I took the chance. That character got deleted. Not really bothered about that, you know, I took my chance. I just sounded like fun, so I tried it. This one was pretty important for me. Territories claimed on the seasonal world during this period have been reverted to unclaimed status, and that was true. I logged into Lupus this morning and pretty much the whole map was back to grey, and in theory those characters have just lost the gold. So yeah, that's fine, I guess. They temporarily stopped player-to-player trading, but that was fixed before I even woke up, I think, so I didn't really experience that. Trading post contracts were cancelled by these characters because that could obviously keep messing up the economy if they weren't. And then this is actually probably one of the biggest ones. Items and coins traded between players or put into company balances by those who took part in the unintended transfers are removed. Now here it's very important there that it says items and coins. So if you've got gold and you transferred it to somebody else, that gold is being removed. And if you had materials as well and you transferred them to somebody else, that is being removed. Now there's a few areas here where people could slip through the cracks. For example, what happened if you brought mats over, gave it to a friend, they then converted those mats into something else? Are those new things being deleted? I'm not sure, probably not. What if they just used it to up their professions? It might not be a massive deal breaker on the economy, but they've not rolled back those professions. So there'll be some people who benefited from this, there's no two ways about it. I know somebody, for example, in my stream who I pretty much trust was saying that they bought some materials that were way cheaper than they should have been. They got those benefits from that and they've not been banned, and nor should they really. But the point is, it still damaged the market, it damaged the economy, it damaged the player base in an irredeemable way if you don't do a rollback. Even if you go ahead and delete everything, yes, you might cover 99% of it, but some people, some items, some things will have slipped through the cracks. They've also deleted the companies that were created, probably because of the same reason of trying to get rid of the gold. And then finally, if you did actually buy a transfer, you're going to, well, when you get your character back, you're going to get a transfer token. Now, you're not going to get your money back because that's a pain in the backside, and to be honest, you probably don't deserve it, but you'll get a transfer token just in case. All fair enough. I think this is all kind of fair enough. This is almost perfect, right? It's not a rollback. Now, a rollback would have been good in my opinion, but it would have also meant people who managed to get Serenity in the morning that this happened on their legacy character or their fresh character who didn't do anything wrong, they may have had a rollback, lost Serenity, and just been absolutely super mega annoyed, and they quite literally did nothing wrong, and you know, obviously they don't want to be punished. So this kind of fixes everything, surely, right? Apart from the people who go through the cracks, it pretty much fixes everything, which is pretty much good enough. Except it still leaves me with a bitter taste in my mouth. I'm still worried about the people who've slipped through the cracks. And playing the PvP server today, I just really kind of didn't have the appetite for it, right? I just couldn't be bothered. I just felt like it's been tainted and I've lost interest. Now, I actually think that's because I've lost interest in the PvP server full stop, because I'm actually going to go back to Fresh, and it doesn't actually mention Fresh here. A lot of it's talking about just the seasonal worlds. I really hope that this has happened to the people who also went from Legacy to Fresh. We know some people who've been banned who went from Legacy to Fresh. Somebody like Sherlock Gnome, for example, who's desperate because he's got a character on a dead server trying to get to the Fresh server, because in the AP server, it's all just dead anyway, full stop. They have been banned, but has all the gold been deleted and yeeted? Hopefully that's the case. If they were trying to like launder it, I kind of feel like if you were really, really smart and you really, really tried to launder it, it would have slipped through the cracks. So I think that'll have damaged Fresh. And I think it will have damaged the PvP seasonal server, of course. I said I'd quit without a rollback, and then today I kept playing the PvP server, but I think tomorrow will probably be my last day on the seasonal PvP server, to be honest with you. We tried to do some actual PvP. I mean, I don't want to talk about the PvP server being a fail. I kind of already did that 2 days ago. But today I was like, I'm getting a little bit bored of just farming, of effectively just doing all these like single player or like PvE content, like chest runs. Most of the times you're not getting like conflicted, nobody's actually fighting with you, doing dungeons to try and get your gear score up and all this kind of stuff. It just felt like more of the same. Yeah, sure, I would occasionally come across somebody when I was gathering, but not really enough to really make a difference. So what we did today, we were like, let's go and grief a chest run. I don't really think it's griefing a chest run on a PvP server, because that's the actual content. That's the whole purpose of the server. But we took like 10 of us, tried to kill people at portals. I mean, we got wiped most of the time because our numbers just weren't very good and we've got terrible gear and stuff like that. A lot of us didn't have fire stuff, and the new fire stuff is absolutely ludicrous. I had no idea what Amazon are doing on several different levels at the minute, but especially that level, that seems absolutely insane to me. But yeah, we tried it. We did some PvP. And I kind of feel like we've done it all. I might try and do the Gorgon tomorrow. I think we're going to try and do the Gorgon on the seasonal server. But for my taste, it's been a fail, and now it's kind of tainted. Yes, Fresh is probably even tainted as well, but I think there'll be more people on Fresh because, you know, that's just where the people are kind of used to being at the moment. But this kind of is enough. I suspect for a lot of people it might be enough, but for me it is enough. I probably wouldn't have quit the PvP server if I was enjoying the PvP server, but I'm not enjoying the PvP server. And then this, I think, is just going to push me over that ledge. How long will people be banned for? Probably 7 days. That's what it appears to be now. Did people deserve their ban? Some people are saying, I didn't deserve my ban. Maybe some people didn't deserve the ban. I think most people, if you transfer a character from Legacy to Fresh or Legacy to Seasonal server, 99.9% of you knew what you were doing. And if you get banned, I don't really think you can complain, even if I wouldn't have been banning you if I was Amazon, because most of this is actually just Amazon's mistake. And I think sometimes when it's this big of a mistake, they should shoulder the blame. I also think they should have rolled back and just took the hit with that as well, right? What they should have done is, when this was noticed sooner, and there was a guy on Discord who was saying to like try and stay positive, what they could have done is actually shut down the servers then, but they had to wait for the staff to become into the office and then they could shut down the servers. It would be nice if somebody had a panic button so that they could say, let's stop the damage, so that when people do slip through the cracks, it's not as bad as if you leave it, because the longer you leave it, the more ingenious people are going to get to try and launder that money and launder those mats. So they should have turned off the servers quicker, basically. For me, this whole thing has just not been a good season. I'm actually going to go and say I think Season 7 is the worst season of New World ever. There's like next to no content. I think seasonal servers are a bad idea. I think PvP servers are a bad idea. They're not even that enjoyable. I really just don't think it was a good idea from the start. And then this giant mess up has just left a sour taste in everybody's mouth. If you're a console player, well, welcome to Amazon Games. You might have heard things about New World in the past and wondered what people were talking about. Well, now you've got a taste. How does it taste? Bad. Like, subscribe, have a beautiful day. Goodbye. I'm not quitting New World, by the way. I'm just going to go back to Draco, play the bits I enjoy, and chill a little bit.